Hello, welcome to episode number 31 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. This is the first episode of SmackDown for the month of July 2020, as we begin the 4-week build to One Night Stand at the end of the month. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into the show. My god, there's shenanigans going down from the start. Kayla's on duty outside as SmackDown starts. She's with a disheveled Drew Gulak, as someone has performed a hit and run on Daniel Bryan, and he's been taken to a local medical facility. Gulak gets angry and says he knows that sore loser Baron Corbin is behind it, and when he finds him, by God, he's gonna... And then Kayla interrupts. He's like, Drew, actually, no one's seen Corbin since he lost at Judgment Day, and he's not here tonight, so it couldn't have been him that did this. It must have been somebody else. And Gulak says, well, it doesn't matter. He's sure Corbin is behind it, and he will find out who did it. And when he does, he will get his revenge. So basically, when Bryan got injured with the broken pelvis at Judgment Day, it really screwed up a lot of my plans. So we're now going to turn it into an angle, where, very much like Jeff Hardy and Elias and all that in real life, we're going to play a whodunit. Who ran over Daniel Bryan and broke his pelvis. Opening match is the WWE main roster debut of James Storm. He defeats Mojo Rawley with the 8-second ride. 48 for Storm, 41 for Mojo. Then after the match, the other two members of the Forgotten Sons and Lacey Evans attack Mojo and Shotzi. Conspicuous by his absence is the Gronk. And James Storm notices, he says, tell your buddy Rob Gronkowski he's not welcome here, and to never show his face on SmackDown again. Hail the Forgotten, or something like that. Some sort of weird catchphrase for the Forgotten, as they lay waste to the two active members of GX. Here's a segment. Kayla Braxton knocks on the Lucha House Party's door backstage. As you can see, Kayla was not in the mod until now. This is actually the character that is Kathy Kelly in the mod, because she's in it and Kayla isn't. So I just changed all the details to match her instead, because Kathy Kelly left. So Kayla's now here and she's now doing the stuff. And she's getting a good outing on her first night. She knocks on the Lucha House Party's door, and then they come out looking all smug, from what you can see from their faces. And Kayla asks them why they attacked their friend Kalisto at Judgment Day, and they don't respond. She says that Kalisto is injured and can't be here tonight. Do you have any remorse for what you did to Kalisto? No response. Then she asks one last question, but then she starts answering it, but then she stops when a woman leaves the locker room of Lucha House Party. And she's like, can I help you? And she asks Kayla that, yeah, of course. I misread the thingy. Kayla's like, I was just about to ask the Lucha House Party why they... Who? She interrupts and cuts her off. She's like, don't ever say that name again. This interview is over. And she calls Mel Leakin Dorado into the locker room before slamming the door shut. Nameless woman. We can see what she looks like here, but she was never given a name on screen. So let your imagination run wild. Here's a tag team match. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defeat Aaliyah and Brandi Lauren. 6:38. Alexa pinned Aaliyah with a Twisted Bliss. 44 for Nikki, 56 for Alexa, 27 for Brandi, 21 for Aaliyah. Just a quick win for the best friends. But then after the match, Alexa grabs a promo. She doesn't grab a promo, she grabs a microphone and cuts a promo. Alexa and Nikki say they proved Sonya wrong at Judgment Day, and that having a best friend by your side for moral support will always be an advantage to having no one in your corner. And since she proved that her and her best friend are a great unit here tonight, she wants the chance to become the first ever 3-time Women's Tag Team Champions. So Dakota, Raquel, this is the official challenge from Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross for the tag team titles, presumably at One Night Stand. So they then cut to a video package of Sonya Deville in like some sort of training camp, some gym somewhere. She's beating up on a heavy bag. She's just training her fight skills. She says that she's embarrassed that she got beat by somebody like Alexa Bliss at the pay-per-view, because Alexa she may have best friends, but she doesn't know what it truly takes to be a fighter. So she needs to hone her skills and prove to the world that she is, in fact, better than Alexa Bliss. And she'll put her to sleep with some sort of submission hold next time she sees her. So Sonya not taking her loss very well at Judgment Day.
Really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Firefly Funhouse with Bray Wyatt. And we get a camera shot. The first camera shot is of the wall with all the photo frames on, but all the pictures have been replaced with photos of Goldberg holding the Universal title at Super Showdown. Bray says that somehow Goldberg got away with the Fiend's favourite toy that day, and he never forgets. Goldberg got lucky once, but this is over when he says it is. Let me in. So the Fiend, of course, we all expected the reason why he would attack Goldberg, and it's confirmed here he wants to get vengeance for when Goldberg beat him earlier on in the year, because that should be avenged. Moving on. Here's a match. Oh, they don't click. That sucks. Jeff Hardy defeats Dolph Ziggler in 14-14 by pinfall with a Swanton Bomb. 58 for Jeff, 56 for Dolph. And they don't click, which sucks, because this was the start of a storyline, but I can easily pivot it to a different direction, so it's fine. Drew Gulak is backstage with Mustafa Ali. He says he needs him, the hacker, to search the security camera footage from earlier on tonight to see if he can find out who it was that ran over Daniel Bryan. And he says, "Alright, I'll get to my room. I've got business to attend to here tonight, but as soon as the show is over, I'll be in there. I'll be looking to help you out, brother." Ali, the justice of SmackDown, the hacker who's all-seeing, surely be on the case to crack it. Naomi and Carmella have a match. Naomi wins it. Yeah. I clicked. Here's a segment. You get a Jflo concert. To sort of be the buffer for the SmackDown show. They finish their whole thing and they get their applause from the crowd. When Sasha and Bayley walk out from the back, they're applauding them. Before they drop them all with their titles in their briefcase, they lay out all. Sasha would beat up Mina and Marika with the briefcase. Bayley would use the title to beat up Tam and Mizuki. Maki would be all by herself. Her friends attacked behind her back when the two women would gang up on her, take her out. And Bayley would hold up Maki's head and force her to look at the title when she's knocked out, saying she'll never win this. So the first piece of drama with everyone's favourite J-pop band has happened here tonight. Their first concert that did not go so well. And golden role models soak in the heat, the boos from the crowd, because they of course would not be happy. Here's a segment. Randomly unannounced, Mark Henry's music hits. And he comes to the ring, obviously to a massive ovation, because holy shit, there's a Hall of Famer here that we didn't expect to see. He says there's a certain individual he would like to call to the ring, and that man is Otis. Otis comes out and Henry tells him he's a big, legit stud of an athlete. And trust me, no one's more about having fun than Mark Henry. Hell, Otis even kind of reminds him of sexual white chocolate. But you need to show that when that bell rings, you're a mean son of a bitch. This is why Tucker beat you at Judgment Day. And that's why he'll keep building you until you find that edge. Then the other three members of the Hoss House that aren't Braun Strowman, being Tucker, Dabba-Kato, and Oba-Kanu, come out. And Tucker says, Henry's wasting his time with Otis. He will never learn. That's why Heavy Machinery had to go. He turned the whole thing into a joke. And Tucker attacks Otis. He goes to attack Mark Henry to make a statement. But when Ali runs out of a steel chair, he takes Tucker out from behind with the chair. Henry beats up Dabba-Kato and Otis takes out Oba-Kanu. And then Otis picks up Kanu and he looks at Mark Henry with him in his grasp. And he lays him out of a world's strongest slam before he celebrates with Ali and Henry. So just sort of because, just need to sort of try and get Otis that edge, because of course he is very good at the comedy shit, but he can't be all comedy. If he's going to be anyone as a solo star, he has to have some sort of edge to him. And the World's Strongest Man, of course, passing on his move to Otis, so he now has a legit finisher to use to beat Tucker next time they face off. Sasha and Bayley are in Paige's office. Paige says that she's tired of Sasha and Bayley's charade, and that after her assault earlier on tonight, she will defend her title against Mackie at One Night Stand. That is if she makes it that far, because she has her match with Mandy Rose next week. She's back, and she wants her official title shot. So Paige is starting to finally stack the odds against the golden role model, specifically Bayley. Okay, this is good. 75 for what is technically the main event match. Sami Zayn defeats Sheamus with a haluva kick. Sami gets a 69, Sheamus gets a 63. He grabs a microphone after the match. He calls out Shinsuke after Shinsuke, of course, shoved him on the floor after their special referee match at Judgment Day, which Sami called down the middle, which, of course, Nakamura was not happy with because he feels like Sami cheated. And he wants to speak to Shinsuke man to man, friend to friend. Instead of Nakamura, he gets Cesaro. Cesaro says that while Sami's been an insufferable prick recently, you can see how much his friends really mean to him. That really shows. So as one of those friends, he tells Sami to forget about Nakamura. He doesn't care about Sami. All he cares about is winning back the Intercontinental Championship. And Sami sort of thinks about this. He's like, to be fair, Shinsuke hasn't really been that nice to me either. But he slides in from behind. He nails Cesaro with a low blow. And then lays him out for Kinshasa. Nakamura picks up the microphone. He says, "You are welcome," before sliding out of the ring, leaving Sami in the ring all confused. So, we're left wondering many questions here. Who is really friends in this group? And was it all a charade? Was it all a ruse by Sami Zayn? Because Nakamura's thanked him for whatever reason. But finally, the big dog is here. In a quick backstage skit, he says he's not oblivious. The Fiend addressed his comments at Judgment Day to the winner of the match, which means he was coming after whoever happened to lose. Which means he knows he's got a target on his back from the Fiend for whatever reason. But Roman's focus has been turned back to where it always seems to turn back, to Braun Strowman, and more importantly, the Universal Championship. And after his win last night, he will be at One Night Stand, and he will decisively beat Braun Strowman and become a 5-time world champion. Believe that. And that ends the SmackDown, which gets us a 78, which is a pretty good show. And of course, what matters more than what the game thought is what you thought of the show, so do let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for episode 32, which will be Monday Night Raw. See you then.